Hello, bonjour, ça va? How are we today? It is Tuesday, March the 4th, 2025, here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the still frozen shores of Lake Huron. It is pouring down rain out there. I'm looking out my big window. It kind of looks like spring. The snow, of course, will melt away with all of the rain, and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. I would think very soon the snow will be gone until, of course, the next round. But I'm feeling more like we're almost there. It's almost spring because it almost is. However, here where I live in Canada, I find that the snow doesn't totally disappear until Easter. And I checked the calendar, and that's not until April. So we may have a little bit to go just yet, but I'm excited. The snow is going. Yay. I've been feeling a huge amount of love frequency coming through me in the last few days, probably since Venus went retrograde on the 1st. I'm surprised at that. I'm not quite understanding how this is happening, but the body frequency does not lie. There is so much more heart chakra opening. It's amazing. It's thrilling. There's a sense or a feeling of adventure with this as well. Like we're going somewhere where we've never gone before. And I'm hearing that Star Trek, the exploration of their starship Enterprise, going where no man has ever gone before. That's how I'm hearing it, and that's what I'm feeling. So there's no heaviness involved with this. It's not particularly light either. It just is. It's love. It's a feeling of being in love with love. So the only thing I can compare this to is, when you think back to your first love, and it was mutual, and it was honored, and it was glorious, and it was beautiful for however long it lasted. And that joy and that complete contentment, restfulness, peacefulness, the security that you sink into, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And that's what I'm feeling. And it's coming up, it's bubbling up from the solar plexus actually to the heart chakra of light, heart chakras of light. When it comes through and it comes forth, it's almost like it's coming forth with great force, but not a force as in an animalistic kind of way, like a dominant control freak kind of way or power over kind of way. It's coming through like the force of nature, like a river flowing, a babbling brook. And then it enters into the main stream of life or of light. So I'm seeing a picture of the Nile, and all the tributaries flow in, or when that river flows into the mouth of the lake or whatever. So it's a little trickle at first, but then it just becomes an even flow with the larger bodies of water. And it's like that. We become light. We become light refractoring into our higher light, which is the angelic light. So we become more advanced. We become more in tune with nature. We become more in tune with ourselves. We lighten up others' ways of being. We were a beacon in the darkness. We become a whole new life stream or light stream of angelic light. For ourselves, it's not only ourselves we're doing this for, but there's so much more that this entails. It's like a subsequential thought And it's like a whole new wide birthing, a whole new wide opening into the higher light. So again, seeing that small little river, the babbling brook trickling into the larger bodies of water, from there into wider and wider openings of truth and alliance with the higher light. So in other words, this is expansiveness. There is no end. There is no, it's like there's no way that there is ever a beginning or an end. It's just we're all one, we're all peace, we're all beings under the sun. And that's the central sun and all the central suns. And it's like we're gathering all the magnificence of the energy light into each other's respite. So we give each other that light. We amplify each other's light. We are hopeful. We give hope to each other's light. And that's how the expansiveness occurs, through the angelic light. So years ago, when I was first starting doing this work, following Spirit calling me out of my regular life and into this lifestyle, which is totally different, I was always shown this like little lake where I grew up. It's just a tiny little pond. And I would see like a pebble being thrown into the pond, which as kids we always used to throw things in the in Little Lake. And these circles go out from it. Concentric circles, I think they call it. And it would start small and then it would just expand and it would go right over until the other edge of the pond. If we did that in the big lake, in other words, Lake Huron, we made a differentiation between the two, so we knew where we were going to play and where to meet and everything. Well, I'll meet you at the little lake, I'll meet you at the big lake, and we knew what that meant. If we threw a stone into the big lake, Lake Huron, then it would go out, there was no end. Because, of course, we couldn't see the other side of Great Lake. We could see the American side, Port Huron, and all their other, I can't think of it. Is it Leamington? I can't remember. But anyway, you get my point. It's a never-ending wave of light. It's a never-ending circle of light. We are the circle of light. So as our expansiveness grows from the heart chakra, it flows to every facet of light. It flows to every facet of life. It can't be cornered. It can't be shut down. I'm even hearing, I find this odd, but I'm hearing it can't even be mutilated by the dark of night. So this is how we give ourselves our respite. We come back into our higher light. God bless. We give you peace, love, and light. We are speaking to you from our angelic might. We are the Christ light. Okay, so and that's the reverie we give tonight. So dream on this. Focus on this when you go to sleep at night or whenever you go to sleep. Focus on feeling this aspect of your higher light. And it's almost like an engorgement in the higher light. So it's like fill yourself up with as much higher light as possible. And feel that energy surge through the solar plexus into the heart, the throat, the mind, the third eye, the crown. And it flows up, it goes all the way around and all the way down. And it grounds you into these higher light streams. It also grounds you into the lower light. And that's what gives the lower light their respite. So we're bringing back their lower light into the higher light. We can help others stream higher light. if we're daring enough to go there. If we're daring enough to go down and meet them in their dark place of lower light, we can actually help them to come back to their higher light. And that's what we've been doing here for a very long time here, is helping to raise people's subconscious awareness to their higher light. When they're subconsciously unaware, they don't know that they don't know. How do you trigger that awakening, that opening up to the realization that there's way more going on here than meets the eye? How do you do that? You trigger their higher light. You bring them back. And the only way to do that is to trigger a reaction in their lower light. I tend to trigger a lot of people. I don't mean to, it just happens. Because I'm constantly moving and shifting from one dimension into another, as I am with people, like in a social circumstance or situation, then there are parts of me that will give information to that person unbeknownst to 3D me. I don't always understand why I'm saying what I'm saying, because it's meant for the other person, and it shifts their subconscious awareness into their higher light. They may not particularly care for me saying what I say, but it triggers them into a higher way. And they may not realize it that on that particular day, but they're leading into their higher way. In other words, they're being led by their spirit into their higher way. So being a part of the higher light means giving reciprocity to the lower light. So you give to the lower light, they come up, that flows back into the higher stream of light, and then it goes and flows into even higher ways and lights, ways of being, higher beings of light, and they give angelic light. So it's a process of revealing. It's how we get revealed, how we give revelations to the light. So whether it's a lower light flowing through us or higher light, it's all a reciprocity. It's a continuation of lower light to higher light. Higher light goes down, back into the lower light, resuscitates it, brings it back up. It flows back down, brings it up and up and up and up and up and up. And it's a constant flow up, higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, back into the higher light. So it's a spiral. We're giving the intensity of the light to the lower light. And it relieves them of their fear and fright. God bless, we give you peace, love, and light. We're speaking to you from our angelic might. Okay, that's our secondary angelic team. That's our sunlight team. I have various teams, as do you. You just have to get to know everybody involved, which is really all about you. It's just you in higher dimensional, multi-dimensional frequencies of light. It's no big deal. It's not scary stuff, okay? It's the way it is. It's quantum. We all have to bring a remembrance of all of this back to ourselves. And by going or flowing into your higher light, that's how you bring the reciprocity back in. And that goes into the lower light, and it triggers a reaction in your higher light. So the higher light sends that processing light back into your lower light. Okay, again, I'm going to repeat that a bit. I haven't heard it explained like this before. This is a new way of talking about it. Hopefully this will make sense to those of you that our other way of explaining things did not, so that we are no longer generationally caught. Yeah, we don't want to be caught in the old way of being, do we? It's no fun being stuck there. All right. I'm not hearing anything else to say. I guess that's our message for today. So blessings, everyone. Take care of yourselves and others. And if you do wish to book a personal, I was putting two words together there, book a personal private session with us, you can go to the website www.healingourenergy.ca and book your appointment there. So we're going to go. I'll speak with you again. Bye for now.